Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this one we're going to go over the NFL Week 10 for Thursday Night Football, November 6th. And as you can see, it is between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. And the opening odds are on your screen, as you can see right here. Las Vegas opens at plus 225 on the money line, minus 278 for the Denver Broncos. Spread looks like this. Plus 6.5 at minus 108 cost. That has since increased, by the way. The 6.5, they're not 8.5 point favorites, but we'll go over that in a moment. 6.5 point favorites, what Denver started at minus 112 cost. Total opening at over 43.5, minus 110 cost there. Under 43.5 at minus 110 cost as well. Now, let's see where these odds are now. Plus 430 for the Las Vegas Raiders, minus 590 for the Denver Broncos, plus 8.5. 8.5 point underdogs are the Raiders at minus 105 cost. 8.5 point favorites are the Broncos at minus 115 cost. Over under 42.5. Minus 112 cost over. Minus 108 going under. Now, with the opening odds, we reduce them. That means you separate the integers and add them together. 2 plus 25 or 22 plus 5 equals 27, and 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. 278 reduces to 80. 2 plus 78 is 80. And 2 plus 7 plus 8 equals 17. I need to add that. And 35. 27 plus 8 equals 35. Now, let's see. Opening the movements from Tuesday. We're going to go over that in a moment. But first, we're going to go over the expected value since we just went over the opening odds. Expected value. Las Vegas, 29% win percentage. 29% win percentage based off of the plus 225, minus 278. That based off just the opening odds. And we analyze this to make sure we know we measure the expected value. Let's go over the definition of expected value. The measure of what a bettor can expect to win or lose on each bet placed on the same odds time and time again. The formula is below that. And it is based off $100 wagers. Just as a default value, we use 100. That gives Las Vegas a negative $5.75 expected value. And based off the minus 278, gives the Denver Broncos a 71% win percentage. And that gives them a negative $3.46 expected value. Las Vegas win percentage 18%. And 82% based off the current odds. Plus 430 for the Raiders, minus 590, negative 590 for the Broncos. Negative $4.60 expected value for the Raiders and negative $4.10 expected value for the Broncos. All right, let's scroll to we're already here. Tuesday, 11/4. Odds were plus 385 on Tuesday, minus 500 for Denver on the money line. And that was at 5% betting percentage for the Raiders, 13% money for the Raiders, 95% betting percentage for the Broncos, 87% on the money for the Broncos. And as you can see now, they are plus 430, minus 590. So the odds have increased, and we'll go over that. We'll go over that right now. Let's scroll down. The current splits look like this. 6% based off the betting on the money line. 94% based off the betting on the money line for the Broncos. 10% on the money on the Raiders. And 90% for Denver. Percentage of money, that is. Now, with that being said, that is based off of the current odds, the plus 430, minus 590. The odds have increased in money while they have increased in money for the Broncos. Minus 500 has turned into minus 590. But the betting has decreased by 1%. Not a huge deal, but that plus 430 is very telling for the Raiders. If I will say this, if the Broncos have a narrative deep this season, they win this game. They win this game for sure. If they have a narrative. But always beware of massive home favorites, because Denver was not a favorite in that Houston game they just played. But they're a massive home favorite. Well, not a huge massive home favorite, but they are a decent massive home favorite, over almost negative 600, negative 590. Now, with this 87% of the money turning into 90% of the money, and the odds went from minus 500 to minus 590, all the indicators tell you that Denver is going to win this game. Now, the spread went from 6.5, Denver favored 6.5 point favorites, to 9.5 point favorites on Tuesday. Now they are back down to 8.5 point favorites, minus 115. And they rarely do this much movement if a favorite is going to win this game. They rarely do this much spread movements, that is, if a favorite is going to win this game. They're moving this around for a reason, because obviously if the underdog wins, they win the spread, obviously. 46% on Tuesday at plus 9.5, minus 115 cost there. 17% of the money, though. 46% of the betting, 17% of the money. 9.5 point favorites on Tuesday for the Broncos, minus 105 cost for the Broncos on the spread. 54% betting, 83% money. Tuesday, 11-4. That's what was going on. Now, based off the minus 8.5, negative 8.5 point favorites are the Broncos, 8.5 point underdogs are the Raiders, is at 36% for the Raiders, down from 46% on the betting, 64% for the Broncos from 54% on Tuesday. Now it is 50-50 on the money. 50-50 on the money. It was 17-83. 83% going with the Broncos. Now, since it has dropped to 50%, the Broncos spread cost has increased while the spread has decreased by a point. They are now up to minus 115, so that it has flipped. The minus 115 has flipped to minus 105, and vice versa. The minus 105s hit more so than the minus 115s. I've been saying that it is about 62-38 on this year for the NFL. About 62-38. And that is even higher, because normally the minus 115s is normally 65-35. Now, if Raiders have a chance on this spread, this 83 has reduced to 50. And the odds went up for the Broncos. Now, early in the day, it looks like the Broncos could take it. But they do this all the time. They pull that okie doke, get you to go with they know people are betting higher on the underdog, especially with such a decent sized spread, 8.5 points. They're trying to get you to go with the Raiders with that lower cost, and they could dupe you in this game, and Denver could take this spread by 9 points, maybe if it ends up at 8.5 points by the end of the day. Now the total, over under 42.5 points, minus 108 cost there, minus 112 cost, minus 108 over, minus 112 under, and currently it is 42.5, minus 112 over, minus 108 under. Okay, the cost has changed, flipped just like the spread. Now let's see where the splits are. 47.53 on the betting, over to under. 51.49 on the money, over to under. 52% over, 48% under. 81% on the betting, that is. Over percentage of money currently, 81% currently going over. And the over has the bigger cost, since it has increased 30% from to 81%, 19% going under. Normally, it's easy to just be like, okay, we can easily go with that over. Minus 112 cost. They do hit more than the minus 108s. Not a significant amount higher, but they do. The over looks decent in this game. The over looks decent in this game the way it's going now. But towards the end of the day, watch what happens with those costs. If those costs, whichever one has the lower cost, or if it's even at minus 110, go with the one, join the public with the total on the money, percentage of money that is. Join the public on that total. But beware of the massive favorite Denver Broncos. If you see their odds just increase and increase and increase, then go with the Raiders. But as they're moving those odds and the odds are increasing in the money, go with the Broncos. They look decent in this one. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take care. Pray every day. I've been Scott. And yeah, I will see you in more